1988 National Gymnastics Championships. From the Copps Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario. Is brought to you by Philips, a global company committed to world-class performance. And by Discount Car and Truck Rentals.
The 1988 Canadian Gymnastics Championships. And CTV's cameras return live to Copps Coliseum in Hamilton for the first time since the heroics last summer of Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. At that time, Canada beat the best in the world at hockey. What is happening in today's championships is part of the pre-selection process for Canada's national teams, the ones that will challenge the best of the rest of the world in gymnastics later this year at the Seoul Summer Games. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Matheson, looking for a lot of excitement here at Copps Coliseum today. I'll be working on the floor, talking with some of the gymnasts, also doubling up on the PA system. Upstairs with the play-by-play today is Peter Young, and we'll go to him now, and he'll introduce to you the rest of CTV's broadcast team. Peter?
Thank you, Dan. Hi again, everybody. You know, each team across the country is beginning to prepare for the Olympics 3.5 months before the Canadians head overseas. And in gymnastics, you will see today the best we have to offer. Joining us in the broadcast booth to call the action on the women's play is former Canadian Olympic star Elfie Schlegel. Elfie, will this be our best team ever?
Most definitely, Peter. Our senior women are quite capable of helping Canada improve on its 8th place world ranking, and Lori Strong is leading the way. She was the top North American at last year's World Championships.
Here to analyze the men's section today is former Canadian national team member Dave Steeper. Dave, we've got such exciting men now, led by Curtis Hibbert, who won the silver in Rotterdam.
That's right. There's so much excitement that Curtis has generated. He's a great crowd pleaser, but he's also leading a very strong, deep team. So we've got lots of excitement, not only from Curtis, but the whole team.
All right, sit back and enjoy for the next couple of hours the best gymnasts in Canada. The National Gymnastic Championship continues in a moment. Sean Jackerin up next.
Now, Sean's one of our young up-and-comers, but an excellent floor routine that he's got planned. Oh, a nice mount. He did that double back with a full twist. Good landing, nice control. Beautiful. Now, Sean shows a lot of style for a young gymnast. Beautiful double leg work, which you normally only see on the pommel horse. Difficult combination, well executed.
We have no program. We have IFB only. The only way I hear computer analysts, we have zero program. We have IFB everything.
Sean's being very steady in the corner. Here he comes. Let's see what he's got left for his dismount. Beautiful double twist with a punch front. Very well done for one of our up-and-coming juniors.
Well, he's only 18 from the Burlington Boys Gym Club. I'm sure pretty excited about getting a chance to compete in front of all these people, Dave.
Yes, it's a great crowd we have. This is his double twist, and watch. As soon as he lands, he's got to be right set for a punch front somersault. He's got to have a perfect control for that. He's got to know exactly where he is right through the air.
9.7.
There he is. Watch. He's got a spot right here. Do the punch front. A small step on the landing.
There's the score, 9-7 for Sean Jackerin. Curtis Hibbert, of course, is getting the outstanding ovation because of his World Championship silver medal in Rotterdam. 87 Worlds, of course. He surprised many and excited all of Canadian gymnastic fans. His opening line gets all kinds of height.
Fantastic double layout.
Dave, a pretty springy mat as well, I think.
Yes, they've actually increased the thickness of the floor to give a little bit more height to the gymnast. There are more multiple rotations.
Is this a world-class performance we're seeing here?
Yes, this has been solid so far. That double layout mount was beautifully executed. Curtis is looking solid here.
21 years of age from the York University Gym Club.
He's steady in those corners. He's worked well with his connecting movements. No minor bobbles or steps. Ooh, good height on that double back. Good landing.
Nice performance, clean for Curtis Hibbert.
Watch the height he gets on this double back. Pulls it around. Slight step, but tidy landing for that dismount.
And a score of 9.8 for Curtis Hibbert on the floor. 9.8.
The score for Curtis Hibbert, 9.8.
24 years of age, Philip Chartrand, coached by Michelle Ving. 3-time Canadian national all-round champion.
At the 1986 Commonwealth Games.
This is one of Philippe's strong events. Watch the height he gets on this mount. Beautiful double layout, sticks that landing. Excellent start. That's the kind of start that really gets a athlete fired up about the rest of the routine. Second combination pass. Well done. Each of the gymnasts showing a strength element on the floor as well as the tumbling combinations. And they're looking for unique ways to connect their movements to get a good flow to the whole routine. And his dismount on a very difficult double back with a full twist. Beautiful routine for Philip.
Big smile from Philip, and he knows that was one of his real strong apparatuses. It always is. Looks like a bodybuilder almost in a gymnastics uniform.
Very muscular guy. That's a full twist on the first somersault and then another back out. A beautiful dismount for Philip.
Watch it from this angle now.
Watch this. A full twist and then another somersault after that. He's going to be challenging Curtis, I'm sure.
9.875. The National Gymnastic Championships continue in a moment. Laurie Strong with her second vault.
Now Laurie's planning to do just a Yurchenko with a full twist. Of course, she's quite capable of doing a 1.5 twist, but she told me that she's working a double twist. We won't be seeing that until the Olympics. There it is, full twist. Okay, a little trouble off the horse. Didn't quite have enough height. Was forced to tuck her knees. We'll see exactly what happened here. She had good speed, good power, but it was right off the horse there. You can see her knees tucked far too early. A little bit of trouble on the landing. And here she goes. Okay, now take a look on the on-flight. Her knees were tucked quite severely right there. Legs a little bit apart. Judges are going to be taking form deductions on this fall, Peter. And a low landing. certainly not one of her best vaults.
Well, she had the good first vault, 9.7, but a 9.4 on that one for a 9.55 average. Janine Rankin now with her second vault.
Again, she must perform a different second vault. Most of these girls are adding the full twist in their layout Sukaharas.
She had a 9.55 on her first vault, so she'll naturally be hoping for a little bit better.
And if there's any improvement to be made, really, she just has to nail the landing.
She was 9.4 and 9.6 in her vaults in the all-around competition.
Okay. Nice full twist. That's going to help. Great two vault. She's really pleased with those vaults.
Good job. Nice ball.
Good speed. Of course, the judges are looking for the speed and the push and the block off the horse, as well as the distance that the girls cover from the horse to the mat. Here's this round-off entry. Looking back into a back handspring. There's the block. Knees just slightly bent. The judges will look at the form deductions there, and one hop back. There's that push, slight bend of the knees, but nice full twist, stands it up, and one hop on the landing.
9.625 for Janine Rankin.
You notice the numbers that the girls are putting up on the scoreboard there. That indicates the number of the vault that they will be performing, so the judges have a good idea.
Larissa Loing's second vault now.
Now Larissa's planning to add a full twist to the second vault. Again, increasing the difficulty value. She's getting a good run. And there's a full twist. Oh, beautiful vault. Nice
Stuck
landing.
that one.
Good job, man.
Again, here's the round off, back handspring approach. Good bump and block. Nice clean twist. The legs glued together. Beautiful vault. Good landing.
Boy, she lands the dismount, doesn't she?
No problem whatsoever. She knows exactly where she is coming off that horse. Look at the height. Look at the neatness of the legs. Glued together. That's what the judges are looking for. Super vault.
9.725. The National Gymnastic Championships continue in a moment.
The technical chairperson of Nationals 88 is Jean Sutton, and she joins us now. And when you put on an event this big, Jean, you have a lot of people involved and a lot of people to thank, don't you?
Right, that's true. I wished I could personally thank each of the people who've been working on this, but there's between 500 and 600. That would be difficult to do. We've used parents of gymnasts, we've used high school students, we've used local gym clubs, and that's what's made up between 500 and 600 people. And the other thing that relates to the volunteers is that it's taken us 18 months to put this together. So some people have been working right from the start, and then as we got bigger and bigger, we pulled in more people.
When you travel around the country with national championships, despite whatever sport it may be, you get a different flavor each time you go to a different city. What has it been like here in Hamilton all this past week?
Okay, well, I would say moving the event to Copps Coliseum for the finals has what would make this event very, very different. We've been at McMaster University since Wednesday, and moving to a different site, you can feel the excitement sort of building all week long.
Would this be the biggest crowd that a lot of these kids have performed in front of?
Some of them, yes. And I think this is really unique to Hamilton because we've never had a gymnastics event this size. The support of particularly the city of Hamilton has been incredible, and the use of Copps Coliseum.
Do you think you're getting a lot of excitement in the non-gymnastics community as well?
Oh, yes. By the number of tickets we've sold, this is non-gymnastics community coming to watch.
Philip Chartrand is the gold medalist in the competition on the floor. Curtis Hibbert is second place.
Medal winner, Curtis Hibbert.
And third place, the junior, Sean Jakerin.
In third place for the bronze medal, Sean Jakerin.
So it's Jakerin, Hibbert, and Chartrand, the medalists on the floor.
Presenting a sponsors award to the gold medalist is Mr. Ian Burns, General Manager, Financial Business Systems, Phillips Electronics Limited.
Somebody come up to try to fix this now, Cap? Yeah, somebody come in to try to fix this now.
Presenting the medals for women's vault is Mr. Jerry Burrows, Vice President of the Canadian Gymnastics Federation. In first place for the gold medal,
The National
Larissa
Gymnastic
Lowry.
Championships will continue in a moment.
The 1988 Canadian National Gymnastics Championships continue with women's uneven bars. The first competitor, Carrie Kanuka from Regina, Saskatchewan.
One of the real glamour
Ninth
events
in
in
all
women's
around
gymnastics as we
competition.
watch Carrie Kanuka. She will be the first to approach the unevens. And Alfie, it's almost like a high bar routine here.
It certainly is, Peter. The girls are incorporating many of the moves that we watch on the men's high bar. Carrie mounted with a straddle over. Now, here are the giant swings. Giant half turn. Shoot over the low bar. Working back up, of course, requirements on the women's uneven bars, having to touch the low bar at least twice. Another giant swing. And a front with a half dismount. Good landing. Overall, clean routine. Not a lot of difficulty, but she did do it well.
16-year-old Carrie Kanuka from Regina, and a pretty nice routine.
Again, we'll take a look at these giant swings. Good legs, nice and clean. Nice high dismount, toe on front with a half. Good landing.
They don't wrap around that bottom bar the way the gymnasts in the era pre even your events.
No, in order to do these giant swings, you have to have the bars set out at a wide angle. Again, we'll take a look at the nice height, good half twist, and a fairly good landing on the dismount.
And a 9.45 for Carrie Kanuka. Janine Rankin up next, 15 years of age, from Palgrave, Ontario.
Palgrave, Ontario. 6th on the uneven bars at the World Championships.
Now, Janine has an unusual mount here. This is called a front giant. We've watched them go backwards, but Janine goes forward. That's a front giant. Right to her release move. Nice high Jaeger salto. Working down the low bar, back up to the high bar. Good clean moves, good transitions. Giant swing. Very neat. Giant full. Another giant swing. Right into her dismount. High double tuck. Excellent routine.
Definitely a world-class routine by Janine Rankin.
Well, Janine has gained a lot of international experience over the years. Again, we'll take a look at this nice high double salto with a near perfect landing. Again, the front giant work, very difficult. Here's the bar, no problem. Here she goes into a release move, a Jaeger salto, shooting right over to the low bar.
And a 9.75 for Janine. She was 6th in the unevens at the World Championships, so very strong here.
And there's another giant swing. And there's the giant swing with a full turn. Very difficult. And she continues, of course, going right into that nice, beautiful high double tuck salto dismount.
There it is, that 9.75 for Janine. Kathy Giancaspro. One thing about Kathy, Alfie, she always has the fancy outfits.
Very beautiful leotard. Her mom does make all of her gym suits.
Kathy Giancastro.
She's 17 from Montreal.
4th all-round
Now we'll have to watch for Kathy's mount. She has changed her routine around a little bit from last year. This is called counter swing, right into a stalder. Very difficult. Giant half turn, right into a Jaeger salto, nice and high. Good, clean work. She's moving well, back up to the high bar. Kip cast to handstand. Girls taking every move right up into the handstand. Giant full turn, just packed with difficulty. Double pike flyweight dismount, an amazing routine. They're shooting through, working back up to the high bar. Nice form, Kip right up to the handstand. Good stretch. Giant swing. Now getting speed in order to do the giant swing with a full turn. And right into a dismount. Extremely difficult. Good combination.
Almost does the Giants and can get away with letting her feet go through, but just at the last second has to tuck a bit.
Right at the last second. Just has to tuck her hips under. There we see the full turn right on top of the bar. Getting a lot of power for this dismount. Excellent routine.
Kathy scores a 9-8. That brings up Lori Strong, and she's so good in this event, she even has a move named after her.
Well, yes, she does. At last year's World Championships, Lori performed her 1.5 twist over the low bar. It has now become known as the Strong. She's getting set for it right early in the routine. Here's her release move. And it's right here. 1.5 twist. Super job.
That's a Strong, folks.
Nice work. Good swing. Giant with half. Full turn. Another giant swing. Now watch. She'll come back down the other way. Right to a handstand. Working very well. All she has left is her dismount.
9-8 is the score to beat.
Double pipe. Oh, perfect landing.
15-year-old Lori Strong from Whitby.
Excellent work on the uneven bars. Lori is by far one of the top bar workers in the world. Again, seeing nice extension, good form, right up to the handstand. Very important. There's the giant swing. Right into that nice high double pike flyweight dismount. Small step. Again, her nice release move. Beautifully high Jaeger salto. What makes this move so special is the 1.5 twist that follows immediately after.
And that was the move that is named after her.
Working well, back up to the high bar, hip cast to handstand.
She moves into first place with that routine. 9-8-5 for Lori Strong. Here comes Andrea Oick, one of the older girls, 18, from Seneca.
Andrea is a terrific bar worker, and she's going to mount with a front summy over the low bar. There we see it. Well done. Now, Andrea's release move is called a Hindorf. She's one of few who performs this move in the world. It's coming up right after this. Oh, unfortunately, had to half turn out of her free hip. She will not be able to perform it. Covering up well. Kip cast to handstand. Free hip circle. Giant swing. 2 giant swings, working into her dismount. Comanche pike. Now, that not having done that release move, it will hurt her overall score.
Well, the untrained observer wouldn't even know that she had a slight foul up in that routine.
But in today's competitions, it's almost necessary to have these release moves. We'll take a look at her giant swing work up on the high bar. Nice, neat legs. Again, a second giant swing in order to generate the speed into her dismount. We will take a look at the Comanche in a pike position. Not a bad routine. Again, good clean work for Andrea. 2 giant swings. And there's that Comanche dismount. And 1 step on the landing.
9.6 for Andrea. And Larissa Lowing is the last girl to perform on the unevens. 15 years of age from Whitby.
Mounting with a straddle over mount. Giant swing. All the girls performing these giant swings. There's a giant with a fold right into a Ginger salto. Excellent combination. Working well. Back up to the high bar. Cast a handstand. 2 giant swings. Double twist dismount. Okay, just one small step on the landing.
Well, Larissa came in at 7th after the all-arounds, and she was not expected to win a medal in this event.
Very clean bar routine. Larissa's really been picking up over the last year, and the World Championships definitely helped her confidence. There's a giant swing, 2 giant swings, of course, trying to get enough speed in order to do this beautiful double twist dismount. Just one small step on the landing.
Hey, and a 9.75 as we look at the finishing portions of her routine, and that's a little bit of a surprise. She really has come up.
She really has. She's been working hard on this event. There's that nice giant full turn right on top of the bar into that high, beautiful Ginger salto. Shooting immediately over to the low bar. Nice work. Good extension on that glide kick, right up to the handstand.
Little fault in the dismount, but a real nice performance for Larissa Lowing, and a 9.75 score will actually move her into 3rd. The National Gymnastic Championships will continue after this. On the women's uneven bars, the standings go this way. Lori Strong, who has that move named after her, 1st place. Kathy Giancaspro, 2nd place. And then a tie for 3rd, Janine Rankin and Larissa Lowing. So both will get medals, followed by Andrea Oick. So great performance, especially 3rd place performance by Larissa Lowing.
Women's Program Chairperson, Canadian Gymnastics Federation. In 1st place with a score of 9.85, Lori Strong. Winning the silver medal with a score of 9.80, Kathy Giancaspro. And a tie for the bronze medal with identical scores of 9.75, Larissa
Has to be
Lowing
exciting for Larissa, Alfie. I mean, this is a situation where she didn't expect to be.
This is definitely a great move for Larissa. She's really been slowly moving up the ladder on the Canadian national team.
Presenting the Sponsors Award to the gold
So our
medalist.
congratulations to Lori Strong. The gold, as you can see, Kathy Giancaspro. The silver, Janine Rankin and Larissa Lowing will share that medal. And the gals will descend from the podium, and we'll go next to the rings. And a very strong field in the men's competition.
We begin with David Bardana.
David Bardana from the University of Calgary. And once again, here's a case where we have one of the juniors who was so good that he qualified for the senior championship. He's 18 from Calgary, Alberta.
That's right, Peter. He's had a fantastic meet, won the all-round in the junior competition, and here he is vying for an event national title. Rings traditionally considered the strength event for men. They have to show 3 strength moves, and there's one, a planche. Great, that one was called an Olympic cross. The 2nd strength move. Of course, one thing that people are always looking for is for those rings to be steady during the hold moves. And once he gets swinging, that becomes more difficult to control. Performing a giant swing, double front roll, right up into a straddled LC. Now he's picked up a little bit of swing. He'll try and dampen that here just before his dismount. Double layout. Landed it well.
He's happy with that performance, and well, he should be. John Kolb, his coach, congratulates him, our junior national champion for 88. And David Bardana has a great routine on the rings.
Yes, he's a real up-and-comer. This is a press out of that straddle seat right into a high dislocate, trying to build up swing for his double layout dismount. Very difficult to pull 2 somersaults out with that layout position.
See the smile sort of creeping into his face as he makes the dismount.
That's right. Now, this combination is an interesting one. That was a double front roll, then immediately to a back uprise into the straddle L position.
And a 9.55 for David Bardana. Remember, he's our national junior champ. Also from the University of Calgary, Tony Smith, his hometown Edmonton, Alberta, also coached by John Kolb.
Tony's starting with a front lever, kip up to an L. Already developed a little bit of swing even in his first few movements. Now, if a gymnast has good timing, they can dampen that swing if their timing is correct in the rest of the routine. This is interesting, a half twist of the ring, something that's new. And an interesting held element. Crossways on the rings. Gymnasts always striving for a little bit of originality in the composition of their routines.
And showed us some there.
Definitely. Again, using that half twist right into his double back dismount.
A couple of pretty unique moves in that performance by Tony Smith.
Very interesting combination. Here he is. His double back dismount, that was working out of a situation where he had actually crossed the rings. Let's try and pick up what he actually does here. Does a half twist of the rings, swings back through the twisted rings, then has to untwist them and stabilize himself again. Very difficult to get rid of that twist once he's initiated it. So it's a risky thing to do to actually try to cross that rings like that.
And then end up in that pretty unique situation.
It looks like a pretty difficult predicament to get out of.
9.35 for Tony Smith.
9.35.
Well, this is one of the best you'll ever see. Philippe Chartrand from Laval, Quebec. Three-time Canadian national champion.
And this is an event that Philippe really likes to perform in. He's a strong man, and this event is just suited to his body build and his style.
Looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with those arms.
He does.
He's 24, veteran of our Olympic team in LA.
There he is, starting with his strength moves. Very difficult to pull out of that iron cross position. Very few of the men are able to pull out of that position, let alone hold it for the appropriate length of time. Double front roll right up into a handstand. Very clean. Rings are rock solid. Extremely difficult inverted cross and down to another cross. Not even flinching. No strain showing on his face there. Working easily back up into the handstand through a swing. Nice wind up. Beautiful layout dismount. Perfect landing. There's not much wrong with that routine.
I think the ease that he makes those strength moves is amazing.
That's one of the difficult things, Peter, is to make it look effortless. It certainly isn't. Here we're watching him move out of his handstand. Giant swing right through the handstand position. Watch the height. Tight body position. Nails the landing.
And knows it.
He knows he did a good one.
9.85 for Philippe Chartrand. That will be almost impossible to beat. But there are a couple of good ones coming up, including the next man. 21 years of age, Curtis Hibbert from York University Gym Club.
Now, Curtis and Philip actually have very similar body types, very similar events that they're strong in. So Curtis and Hibbert are running neck and neck.
Curtis, of course, the man who brought Canadian gymnastics to the forefront in Rotterdam, winning a silver medal in a different apparatus, which he'll perform for us later.
Beautifully held Olympic cross, right into a back lever. Dislocates right up into the L. Rock solid. Gymnast must show a handstand from strength and from swing. Nice back uprise, straight arms. The judges are looking for those elbows to be locked in this swing work. And a beautiful layout dismount. Feet didn't move an inch on that dismount. Beautiful routine.
A little bit of waver in the hands, though, more than in Phillips' routine. I don't know if that will pick up the eyes of the judges.
Not really enough movement to be concerned with. There was a very slight movement of the rings, but really of no concern with this high-quality routine. There's his giant swing right through handstand, double layout dismount. His feet don't even move once they've hit that mat.
9-8. So it's not enough to catch Philip Chartrand.
Now, the difficulty factor wasn't quite as high in that routine. That's why it was a bit lower.
Here's Claude Luttendress from Montreal. Andre Simard is his coach. Got a pretty vocal cheering section with him here.
Claude has been moving up as a senior. He did very well as a junior and is now trying to make his mark in the seniors.
He's only 20.
Holds that cross well, pulls right out, exhibiting one of the required 3 strength moves on the rings. Just press to handstand. Beautiful double front roll in a pike position. He actually missed the hold move there. He covered up well, but will actually be short one of his strength moves. Finishes off well, though.
Claude Luttendress. He's only 20, so we're looking at him for the next Olympics after Seoul.
Yes, he's got a good career ahead of him. Good double layout, not quite as tidy in the air.
And then a little off balance.
So here comes a double front roll in the pike position. This is where he just slightly bobbled. He's supposed to come up and actually hold this position right here. That's where he lost control. Though he worked well out of it, and it didn't really show up that he had wavered in his handstand after, so he recovered very well considering he missed that move just prior. And here he winds up through the handstand on his giant and a good high double layout.
9.65 for Claude Luttendress. That leaves him in third right now, but Brad Peters is coming up next, and he's very strong in this event.
This is one that Brad's really worked on. He's not physically as strong as, say, Curtis, but he definitely has worked on it, and you can see by his held iron cross, good press here. He's really worked at it and is now an excellent ringman. Beautiful back uprise in the handstand. Elbow is perfectly locked. Nice straight body front roll. Another cross. Well done. Clean execution so far. No swing of the rings in the handstands. And a double layout with a full twist. A little bit of added difficulty on that dismount.
Brad's 25 from Brampton, Ontario.
Watch this swing right through the handstand. This is where it's difficult to control that swing. Now he'll try and time it so right when he swings forward, then he'll drop down to get the maximum benefit on his dismount. This time going through the handstand. This time he adds a full twist. There's the full twist on the first somersault. A little bit of a leg break on the second, but very well done. Difficult dismount.
9-7 for Peters. The National Gymnastic Championships will continue in a moment. There you see the standings in the men's rings. Tony Smith in 6th, David Bardana in 5th, Claude Luttendress in 4th, and the medalists that you'll meet in just a moment: Brad Peters, Curtis Hibbert, and Philip Chartrand. There are 3 of the best gymnasts in Canada in the men's section. Gold medalist is Philip Chartrand. His score was 9.85, which is .05 better than Curtis Hibbert. And a pretty smooth performance as well. 3rd place, and the bronze medalist is Brad Peters of Brampton, Ontario. You'll be seeing these gentlemen before the afternoon is over on the other apparatus. Philip Chartrand on the gold medal podium, followed by Curtis Hibbert and Brad Peters. Next we go to the women's balance beam, and Janine Rankin is up first, Elfie, and I think we have to look for something right off the bat with her.
Well, for sure, Janine's mount has now become known as the Rankin, and what it is it's a run onto the board, and she jumps onto one arm and holds a handstand with one arm. Here it comes. There it is, that's the Rankin. Okay, just a little bit wobbly on that mount. Now, Janine has a crucial acrobatic pass that she has planned coming up right after those 3 jump series. She's had a little bit of a problem with it in the previous day's competition. Let's see if she can hit it. 2 back handsprings into a layout walkout. No problem.
Only 4 inches wide to land on.
There's her 2 front handsprings. Slight balance break. Again. Another handstand. Now watch that crossover change. Very innovative. Of course, the requirements on the women's balance beam, working high on the beam as well as low on the beam. Nice shoulder roll. Nice straddle jump. She's working well. She looks very confident.
4th in the beam at the World Championships.
Full turn, another requirement on the balance beam. She's looking steady. All that's left to do is her dismount. Janine has a double back planned. There it is, round off, double tack. Oh, great routine. She's got to be pleased with that routine. Great difficulty and very well executed.
One of her coaches, Mary Lee Palmer, runs up to congratulate her, and I should think so. Type of routine that might be good enough for a medal in Seoul.
Well, Janine has really built up her confidence. Take a look at this dismount. Round off, high double tuck. 1 step on the landing, but a super bounce beam routine. Here's her acrobatic series. Back handspring walkout, a second back handspring. Here's the layout. Pretty difficult to do, no problems.
9.6 the score for Janine Rankin, so there's still room. Kathy Giancastro, 17 years of age, from Montreal, up second.
Kathy Giancastro.
Kathy performed very well at last year's national championships, in fact, taking the silver medal. So nice press handstand, stake position into a planche. Kathy works well on this event, a 1 1/4 turn. She's had a great week of competition. Front semi, 2-foot landing. Of course, the judges looking to see if the girls are working high up on their toes. There's a 3 gymnastics series, 3 jumps in a row. Getting set up. 2 back handsprings to a layout. Nice job. These girls are really hitting. Now she has a gainer layout planned here. There's a back handspring. Again, another layout. Increasing her difficulty on the beam. She really didn't need that tumbling pass. Working down low. Now casting up to a handstand. Switch leg split leap. She's looking very controlled up on the balance beam. Getting set for a dismount. A double back. In a pike position. Oh, looks as if she might have touched her hands on the landing. Here, working high up on her toes. Getting set for another gymnastic element to her round off. This is her dismount. Nice high, double pike. Landing a little bit too low on the dismount. Didn't quite get her chest up quick enough.
9.15 for Kathy Giancastro, so she must have touched down on the dismount. And Andrea Oak from Mississauga. Up next, Brian McVeigh and Carol Orchard are her coaches.
Andrea is one of our seasoned veterans on this event, having lots of international experience.
When you say that, and I remember competing as an 11-year-old, boy, does that tell you something.
There's her press handstand mount. One arm. Okay, now, Andrea must hold that mount for at least 3 seconds in order to receive the bonus. Here's a round off back handspring. Now, of course, we see the girls doing the round off back handspring and their tumbling moves on the full exercise. So chin stand, working down low on the balance beam. Nice backdrop. Front handspring. Little wobble. Needle scale. Right into a back handspring 2-foot landing. She's looking pretty steady. Full turn. Now, she's getting set for another acrobatic series. 2 back handsprings, layout walkout. Okay, she hung on. Concentrating for dismount. There's the signal, 10 seconds. Round off double twist. Very nice routine.
Good job by Andrea Owick.
Again, we'll take a look at her acrobatic series. Really have to keep those shoulders in line and the hips in order to stay on 2 back handsprings into immediate layout walkout. And of course, for dismount, a round off double twist, getting the legs down, snap down, there it is, and the double twist, 1 step on the landing.
And a 9.55 for Andrea Owick. Emily Major, only 14 years of age, from Montreal.
I've really been impressed with Emily's performance over the last week at the National Championships. There's her planche mount. Again, she probably needs to hold it just another second. Getting set right off the top with her difficult tumbling 2 back handsprings to a back tuck. Really, the shoulders were quite unsquare on that landing. Wasn't able to pull it back on. Split leaf. Front roll. There's her gymnastics series. Aerial front. Oh, wasn't that interesting? Landing on 1 leg down on the balance beam. Very difficult. That fall hasn't really shaken her up too much. She's working. Whoa. Again, another unfortunate mistake, just losing a little bit of her concentration.
That wasn't even off a really highly skilled
No, it was not
maneuver.
a difficult skill whatsoever.
But she's only 14. Let's not forget that.
She is only 14. This is a great competition for her to be in, getting a lot of valuable experience before the Olympic trials. Getting set for dismount now. She has a very difficult dismount. 2 back handsprings to a double tuck dismount. Nice dismount.
Well, she'll be happy with the dismount, but not a whole lot more.
Again, this dismount, the highlight of Emily's beam routine. She does 2 back handsprings and lands with 2 feet in order to generate enough speed to carry over the 2 saltos. There it is, double tuck, nice and neat. Okay, not a bad routine. Working down low on the balance beam. It's a shoulder stand. And as you can tell, just really not a major element in her beam routine. What an unfortunate fall.
An 8.5 score for Emily Major. Brings up Christina McDonald from Whitby, 18 years of age.
And if you remember last year, Christina was our national champion on the balance beam. Opening up with a planche mount. Again, she needs to hold that for at least 3 seconds. I remember last year Christina had A wonderful performance on the balance beam, nailing every difficult element. Switch leg split leap. Here comes her first major tumbling run, back handspring, 2 back handsprings to a layout. Okay, she's fighting to stand. That's important. Way to go.
Saved herself some points.
Nice full turn. Again, a requirement on the balance beam. Front handspring. Back handspring fish flop. Valdez. She's moving well despite that major break. Nice dance elements. There's her jump, showing great amplitude. Back walkover. Again, her gymnastics series. Okay, she just has her dismount left. There's the warning, 10 seconds. Round off, double twist. Okay, nice dismount.
Christina McDonald had the one little slip, but stayed on the beam and came off it well.
Get another look at some of Christina's balance beam work. This is her dismount. There's the round off, right on the beam. Good height, nice twist, and a fairly good landing.
Now a little bit earlier in the routine.
Well, this is where she had a little bit of a problem with her acrobatic series. 2 back handspring walkouts, right to a layout. Okay, the shoulders dipped, but she really fought to stay on the beam. That's nice to see.
Well, last year's champion has a 9.40, and that won't be good enough unless the next young gal, Lori Strong, has a subpar performance. No reason to believe that that will happen. Lori from Whitby, first all-round in the all-round competitions this year, 3rd in the unevens in Tokyo, first all-round on the World Trials, and 2nd all-round last year in Winnipeg.
A really nice mount, a press to handstand with a quarter hop turn. Now, Lori's acrobatic series is extremely difficult. She does a layout walkout right into a back handspring fish flop down low on the bounce beam. Here comes back handspring, layout, right to the back fish flop. Okay, nicely done. Working sideways on the bounce beam. She's looking pretty serious. Here's a full turn.
Lori always looks serious.
She always looks serious, but she has great concentration. Front handspring, 2nd front handspring. Now those 2 front handsprings connected gave her another series. There's her 2 switch leg split leaps, nice and solid. Good dismount. It's going to give her a pretty good score in this event. Here we go. Round off, double tack. Okay, 1 small hop forward, but overall, a very impressive view routine for Lori.
And it might be good enough. 9.6 of Janine Rankin was the score to beat.
Get another look at Lori's dismount. There's the round off onto the beam. Now look at the height. Pulling her knees, nice tight tuck. And just 1 step forward on the dismount.
Lori Strong scores 9.65.
Well, that score of 9.65 is going to be good enough to move Lori Strong into the gold medal position. Much more to come from Hamilton, so stay with us as the National Gymnastic Championships continue in a moment.
We are joined now by a couple of special guests. Malcolm Hogarth is the president of the Canadian Gymnastics Federation, and he is about to be the recipient of something rather special from Philips, the major sponsor here at the Canadian Nationals. Mario Cornati, representing Philips. What have you got here for Malcolm?
Well, Malcolm, in presenting this check for $20,000 to the Canadian Gymnastics Federation on behalf of Philips Consumer Electronics, I'd very much like to say how proud we are to be associated with the games and look forward to some very, very exciting things.
Thank you, Mario. It is really through support of corporations such as Philips that the Canadian Gymnastic Federation can produce world-class athletes, and this will certainly help us on our road to soar. Thank you.
Where does the money go now, Malcolm?
Well, right now it goes into our national team program, and as I say, will contribute to sending the best athletes to the Olympics.
Mario, when a company looks for a sport to sponsor, you have certain ideas about marketing and so forth. Does gymnastics suit Philips to a T?
Well, it's certainly becoming more popular, and I think with the results from certainly this week's event, I think the popularity will explode, I'm sure.
Well, gentlemen, enjoy the competition for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you see Emily Major in 6th place, Kathy Jean Caspro in 5th, Christina McDonald in 4th, Andrea Oak, Janine Rankin, and Lori Strong will get medals. That was the women's balance beam, and we'll go down to the floor of Cops Coliseum now in Hamilton as we're ready for the medal presentations. And it's the mayor of Hamilton presenting the awards. Lori Strong with the gold. 9.65 was Lori's score. Very strong performance, and we finally get a smile from Lori. Janine Rankin in 2nd place. 9.6 for Janine. And 18-year-old Andrea Oak will pick up the bronze medal, 9.55. So only 1 point separating all three. 9.65, 9.6, 9.55. 10 100s between silver, gold, and bronze. Lori Strong, our champion in the women's balance beam. Still much more to come here at Copps Coliseum, so stay with us. And we go to the men's parallel bars. And one of the best up on them right off the bat, Brad Peters. He even has a move named after him, Dave.
The first Canadian ever to have a move named after him. This is an excellent event for Brad. He's very solid, beautiful swing on this event. Nice swing, half turn right to handstand. That was a full turn on one arm called a Diamondov he just performed. And there's his original move. A back salto with a quarter turn to one bar off to the side, now called a Peters. So he gets bonus points for originality for that. Another back somersault to the hands. Swing half turn called a Stutzker, right to handstand. High double pike back dismount. Very clean, very clean.
And you can hear the response from the crowd here and even his teammates as they rush out to congratulate him.
Watch the height on that back toss, landing right on the hands. No movement there. And then the half turn to the handstand. Judges are looking for them to hit that handstand position momentarily. This is one event where they cannot stop more than 3 times. That's a requirement. Then moving right into a very clean high double pike dismount. Didn't even move the feet on the landing.
Here it is, that move that we told you about, named after Brad Peters.
There it is. Back somersault with a quarter turn to one bar off to the side. Then he immediately glides, comes up to a straddled L, turns and does a difficult press on one bar.
And he has a score that will be tough to top if the first man up gets a 9.8. Everybody following knows that they're going to have to perform the utmost of their abilities. Alan Nolay will be up second, 20 years of age, from Bramaley, coached by David Arnold.
Now Alan is coming back from a knee injury. He wasn't really expected to have come back this strong this early, and he's had an excellent meet so far. He also has been working on some original elements in his routine. Now, in order for it to actually get named after him, it must be performed in a major international competition. So if he can make it to the Olympic Games and perform an original movement there, there's a possibility of having it moved after that gymnast. A little bit of walking in the handstand there. Diamidov, a giant swing. Good Stutzker to handstand. There it is, a move we normally only see on the horizontal bar, performed well by Allen, so that's an original movement. And the gymnasts do get bonus points for moves of originality or extra risk.
That looked like extra risk to me.
Definitely was. Here he is, another giant swing. He took out one of the somersaults on that dismount because of his knee problems.
Well, I was going to say his landing was a little shaky. It might have been because of the knee, but I think he has to be overall impressed with his performance.
Very solid. Allen's been doing very well. Up-and-comer. He's one of the younger seniors. So here's a Stutzker to handstand. A little bit of a different combination, splitting the legs right into a double pirouette. He's turning around twice on the bars in the handstand. Then moving right to the sidebar, going into half a giant swing. And this is where he's saving his knee a little bit, not wanting to risk it this close to the selection for the Olympics.
Now watch this. This one will be actually named after Allen if he performs it in a major international meet.
Here he goes on this one bar, swings as if in a giant swing, lets go, makes a half turn, catches on the other bar. Knees came apart a little bit, but definitely that originality in there.
Boy, quite a move. 9.45 the score. And as we said, the dismount might have contributed a little bit to that, but a pretty good routine for 20-year-old Alan Nollet.
The score for Alan Nollet.
Chalking up the bars right now, one of the juniors competing. Allowed to compete because of a new rule this year in the senior portion of the individual apparatus championships. This is 18-year-old David Bardana of Calgary, our junior national champion this year.
That's right. Now you'll notice that the gymnasts do have an opportunity to adjust this event slightly. The width of the bars, they try and get the best grip possible by chalking a specific area. That chalk is to prevent their hands from getting sweaty and slipping. They need an excellent grip while they're up there for absolute control. David,
toe touch, I think, there.
Oh, that's difficult. It looks like David might have fought that out. I'm not sure if he lost his concentration there.
Could you hear the toe touch on the mat, though, as he came through?
Yes, he definitely had a brush there. Technically, that's a fall if they touch the floor once they've commenced their routine. And, of course, it did cause a fall right off the apparatus.
Picks up the routine where he was. Good experience for the juniors, though, to be competing in this situation in front of a very big crowd, live national television.
It is, and David has been very impressive in the difficulty of movements he's been attempting. He certainly is going to be a great contribution to our senior team in the future. So it's press to handstand, moving to one bar, and there's that double back from the side.
Kept that 1 foot planted.
Difficult dismount. Gymnasts are moving more and more to that side swinging on the parallel bars. We're seeing him in his L seat, performing a handstand from strength, what we call a press to a handstand. A little bit of a wobble there. There really shouldn't be much hesitation on those press to handstands. Moving to the one bar. Here he'll try and get lots of height above the bars, completing his 2 rotations. A little bit of a difficulty with the landing. Interesting move here. He's doing a planche in a cross position. Normally, they do that in line with the bars. So trying to go for a little bit of the originality bonus points by using a variation of one of the strength moves.
8.85 the score for David Bardana. And I'm sure he'll look upon this as a learning experience type of a meet for him. We have a great panel of judges on hand here in Hamilton, as we do in all of our competitions across the country now. I think that the rise in the popularity of gymnastics has also increased the caliber of our coaching, and I think the caliber of our judging as well.
That's right. It's crucial to a sport like gymnastics, where judging is such an integral part of the sport.
This is Lauren Bobkin chalking up from Burlington, 23 years of age.
I'm not sure if we'll get a chance to look at Lauren's right forearm. He had a very severe break of his arm, and there's a nice big V on that arm. He's made a great comeback just this year. Beautiful mount. Lauren has a good, clean swing, nice point to his toes, excellent execution. Difficult move he just performed, a full twist on one arm with a blind regrasp. Doing it again, getting wrist for that movement. Moving to the side, very unfortunate, didn't quite get up on his glide kip, so had to hook his toes on the bar, which does count as a fall. Back somersault, right handstand, unfortunate slip there. Lauren was supposed to perform another back somersault to a handstand position. It looks like he just got his shoulders leaning back a little bit, and with the force of the swing, there's a little bit of a buckling of his arms. And a valiant attempt at pulling out his dismount. See the disappointed on his face not being able to pull off that one.
Well, Lauren coming back from very serious injury, and sure there'd be a lot of people wouldn't be able to even be up on the bar after that short period of time from the break.
Here we go. We're watching his back tossing. Notice we saw there his shoulders got too far back, and the compression force on his elbows just caused him to collapse. We're looking at his dismount here. Didn't quite pull it far enough, resulting in the under rotation, a fall, and he'll be penalized for those 2 falls on the bars.
Well, some disappointment for 23-year-old Lauren Bobkin. 8.7 his score. And we'll end up with 2 of the best gymnasts I think we've ever had in Canada. First up, it'll be Philippe Chartrand, who's 24 from Laval. He was our overall Commonwealth Games champ in 1986 and a 3-time Canadian national champion.
Now, it's been encouraging to watch the men on the parallel bars. In the not too distant past, it was one of our weaker events. We've been seeing a lot of originality displayed by our gymnasts. In fact, Philippe has quite an original mount as well. Right there, release, half turn, regrasp on the end. Something that still no other gymnasts are doing in world competition. Solid in the handstands. Judges are looking for the gymnasts not to move their hands once they've regrasped. There's a nice clean giant swing, and a giant swing, immediate straddle cut, and to a held L position. Very clean so far for Philippe. Good tight double back. Perfect landing. It's going to be a tough one to beat.
Well, that's got to be good enough for a medal of some sort. And when the other gymnasts come over and congratulate like that, you know you must have had a good one.
Yeah, there's great team spirit among the men. Here's Philippe's original mount. He does a peach basket right to a handstand, then does a long swing, releases the bars, does a half turn, and grasps again into a movement called a glide kip, and then into a strength movement on the end, a planche. Very difficult movement. You need very strong shoulders to hold that. And swings up, releasing the bar simultaneously to catch and support, swings to the handstand, solid in the handstands. Good steps care right to the handstand position. Giant swing, very, very clean. Another giant swing, a little bit of originality with the straddle cut immediately following that giant.
Well, a big cheer went up from this very large crowd at Copps Coliseum in Hamilton because Philippe Chartrand has just cracked off the highest score we've seen in the competition so far today, 9.95. Outstanding effort. by Philip Chartrand. Definitely one of our hopes for the Olympic Games in Seoul.
That's right, and Philip was the 3-time all-round champion up until this year, when the gentleman we're now looking at the screen, Curtis Hibbert, edged him out for the all-round championship. And these two guys have been chasing each other neck and neck in this competition as well, both having a number of medals to their benefit already in the meet.
Curtis has got the type of personality that could make him into a media star type of person, almost like Ben Johnson, Carolyn Waldo. I mean, he's got the charisma just bubbling out of him.
That's right. He's a very easygoing guy, likes to talk to anybody, relaxed when he is meeting people, and handles his fame very well.
He's only 21.
Nice giant swing with a half turn. That's an original movement that Curtis has been working on. Stutzer right to a solid handstand. Back somersault. A little bit of a step, which he'll be deducted for. And a back somersault with a half turn. Another original element to his routine.
It almost looked like it was going to be a fall, and that was what he intended to do.
That's right. Good Stutzer to handstand. High double pike dismount. Excellent routine, but just a few little wobbles, which will cost him.
Yeah, it would have taken a perfect performance to beat Philip Chartrand. And although that was very good, I don't think it will be good enough. But we've seen some great ones.
There's his back somersault. He immediately does the half turn to the upper arm position and then a straddle cut. Nice original combination. Then exhibiting strength, pressing to the handstand position. And there we go, Stutzer right to the handstand. Good straight knees on the double back, a little bit of a hop on the landing. Each of those is a 10th.
Well, 9.825 is not too bad. Would have been good enough for the gold medal were it not for an unbelievable performance by Philip Chartrand. So Curtis can't be upset with that. We have much more to come, including the floor and the bar, as the Canadian Gymnastics Championship continue in a moment.
Malcolm Hogarth, the president of the Canadian Gymnastics Federation, joins us on the floor one more time. This time we are joined by Herb Singer, who is the president of Discount Car and Truck Rentals. And Herb, you too have a presentation to make.
Yes, I do. Discount is proud to participate in the gymnastics, which we have been for some time, and we have a check here for $20,000 for the Ontario Gymnastics Association.
Thank you very much, Herb. Again, it is corporations such as yours that allow us to produce world-class athletes. This will certainly assist the Federation, and we trust that we on our part are providing the image for your corporation that you have been looking for.
Herb, let me ask you just before we let you go and watch the rest of the competition today. You've been involved with gymnastics. Is Discount's involvement going to continue?
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
Well, enjoy the rest of the day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you again. Thank you, Dan, and our congratulations as well. Here's the standings you'll see in the men's parallel bar as we try to fight the wave noise going on at Copps Coliseum. Lauren Bobkin in 6th, David Bardan in 5th, Alan Nolay in 4th, and then our medalists, who you'll see being presented with those medals in just a few seconds. As we said, the wave going around. We even had Elfie up doing it in the broadcast booth here at Copps Coliseum. As the crowd, the biggest crowd I think ever to see a gymnastics competition in Canada, really enjoying themselves today. Now we'll go down to Dan on the awards presentation. And the gymnasts love it themselves. Philip Chartrand, 9.95 gets the gold, and you can see how popular Philip is here. Championship performance you saw on the parallel bars from Philip. Curtis Hibbert with the silver at 9.825, and Curtis as well gets the big hand. He has been so well received this week at McMaster University during all the preliminary competitions and here today at Copps. And Brad Peters with a solid 9.8 routine. So 3 great routines on the parallel bars give the gold to Chartrand, the silver to Hibbert, and the bronze to Brad Peters. We'll see those gentlemen one more time this afternoon on the high bar, which I think is the most exciting of all the men's apparatus. And now we're going to see, I guess, the glamour portion of the women's competition. It's the floor exercises. And Monica Cavacci is usually very good at this, Elfie, but Monica's not with us today.
No, Monica Cavacci, our national champion from last year, had to withdraw from the competition. She's suffering a little bit of tendinitis in one of her shoulders.
So I'm sure she'll be back in time for the pre-Olympic meets. This is Christina McDonald, and she's first up on the floor.
Christine McDonald has had a wonderful national championship, placing second in the all-around competition. Of course, the gymnasts wanting to select music that best suits their personality and style. Getting set for first opening tumbling run. Rounded back handspring, high double back. She has a very unique second tumbling pass plan. She does a front handspring into a Rudy, which is actually a 1.5 twist. There it is, right to a back handspring. Double twist. Nice job. Lovely routine.
Dramatic ending. Very nice routine. Didn't come close to the lines on any of her tumbling passes, so pretty clean performance by Christina McDonald.
Again, let's take a look at some of Christina's tumbling passes. Good speed. Round up back handspring. There's that nice clean double twist. And working well with her music. Nice dramatic ending.
9.6 for Christina McDonald.
Scores 9.60.
That'll bring up Carrie Kanuka, 16 years of age, from Regina, Saskatchewan. Competes now with the Winstonette Gymnastic Club.
This is exciting for Carrie to be involved in the event finals at the National Championships, gaining lots of experience for the upcoming Olympic trials at the end of July. Oh, beautiful. Oh, high double pike salto. Just a lot of excess energy there and caused an over-rotation.
Well, you know what? They were telling us how springy this floor really is.
We were talking to them.
That could be one of the things that happened to her there.
Well, earlier in the warm-ups, they were commenting on the spring of the floor exercise. The timing is just a little bit different from the previous competitions. Here's a second tumbling pass, rush in front handspring to a full twist. Very original pass. Again, women's floor exercises, they will show changes in the music. Also having to perform 3 tumbling passes. And the third tumbling pass is by far the most difficult. They're tired at this point, so Carrie really needs to get the energy up for this last tumbling run. Round up back handspring, double back. Nice ending. Certainly a lot of power in that tumbling pass.
Well, she had the one slip on the one tumbling line, but aside from that, a pretty good performance for the 16-year-old, Carrie Kanuka. Remember that we'll be sending 6 competitors and 2 alternates to the Olympics, so one of these younger girls could catch on and get valuable experience.
Well, here's Carrie's last tumbling pass. Very difficult to end with, a double back salto. Great performance for Carrie Kanuka.
youngster thrown into the limelight of the national competition. And 9.1 for Carey. 15-year-old Larissa Lowing from Whitby.
I've really enjoyed Larissa's performances over the last year. She actually had a dynamite World Championships in 1987. Of course, they were held in Rotterdam. She was the first person up on most of the apparatus and just led the team off to a terrific start. And here's a whip back, 2 back handspring to a double back. Great combination.
Pretty obvious she's working with a tender ankle.
Of course, the girls have to show a balance between their choreography and their tumbling passes. Handstand pirouette. Working into the corner for her second tumbling pass. Very dramatic style that we're seeing here. Round up back handspring, double twist. Okay, that was a fairly simple pass for Larissa. And she's planning to end with a double back salto. She needs to really get some speed into this tumbling pass. There it is, super high, beautiful landing. Oh, what a great routine.
Larissa Lowing has to be happy with that.
Take another look at Larissa's tumbling run. There's a nice high double back salto to end her routine. Good dance movements. Really a very well executed floor routine.
Well, finally a little bit of a smile. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, was it? 9.75, I guess not. That moves her into first place. Lori Strong, one of our top gymnasts, was to have competed next, but because of an injury, she has had to pull out. And Carolyn Olivier will be up instead.
Well, this is a great opportunity for Carolyn to perform here in the finals. She's a powerful gymnast. Just watch her open tumbling pass. Super high double back salto, just a couple of steps of over rotation. Nice double turn. Oh, a nice round up back handspring with a full turn. That's pretty difficult to do, especially preparing for her second tumbling pass. There's a whip back, back handspring, 2 back handsprings into a full twist, right into a punch front. Another different piece of music that we're hearing. There's her final tumbling pass, a double twist, a little bit low with the shoulders. Okay, not a bad routine for Carolyn.
16-year-old Carolyn Olivier from Cap Rouge, Quebec. Forced into the competition at the last second because of the withdrawal of Lori Strong.
And that's really hard to do. There's her full twist into a punch front, and that was just the end of her second tumbling pass. take a look again at one of her tumbling passes. There's a round off. Now watch the height. There's the lift with the shoulders. 2 complete twists. And left her shoulders down a little bit too long on the landing.
But a 9.4, not too bad. For someone who just jumped into the competition at the last minute, she's happy with that. Here's Janine Rankin on the Mississauga Gymnastic Club, 15 years of age. Jeff and Mary Lee Palmer are her coaches.
A very entertaining routine we have in store for us, and combined with incredible tumbling. Janine's planning a full in back out salto. Okay. Well done. That's a full twist with a double back.
Boy, she attacks her tumbling runs.
She really does.
Looks like a sprinter coming at them.
Now just take a look at this second tumbling pass. Combination, rush in front, right to a double back. Nice and high. Certainly not lacking on height whatsoever.
9.75 the score to beat, and Janine could be on her way.
Great choreography, working really well with her music. Actually, Janine is planning to work on a new floor exercise routine for the Olympic Games. So after this competition is done and over with, she'll be back in the gym, getting set to choreograph another floor routine. There's the music change. She's doing a wonderful job. Just has to pull off this final tumbling pass. Lots of speed here. Double back salto. Okay.
I think she may have performed to her music better than anyone so far.
Oh, that was a wonderful routine. I really enjoyed Janine's floor exercise routine.
A pretty peppy performance, Janine Rankin. And she receives congratulations from her teammates.
Just look at that determined look on her face. Great tumbling passes that we saw Janine perform. Nice height. There's the full twist. And there's the second salto. Very difficult. And 1 step back. Really trying to hold on to it.
Playing to the music.
Again, we mentioned Janine's wonderful choreography. She really worked with the music well. We will take again another look at her final tumbling pass. Nice high set on that double back salto.
And a 9.8 moves her into first place. Janine Rankin takes over first spot with a 9.8. 1 competitor left on the women's floor, Emily Major, the 14-year-old from Montreal. And there she is getting ready.
Now, Peter, she is really tiny, but this little girl can really tumble. She's got some great difficulty in this floor exercise routine. Okay, Emily has a full in back out salto also planned here. There it is. Okay, and stuck that landing.
Alfie, you were telling me so many of the young girls have routines on the floor, at least, that are almost equal to the seniors.
Oh, yes, they do. The difficulty that we're seeing from our national team members are just incredible. And you know, they really have to keep up today with the top competitors in the world, like the Soviet gymnasts and the Romanian gymnasts. They're always setting the trends. There's a whip back through to a double twist. Again, great landings out of her tumbling pass. Very impressive.
Crowd here at Copps Coliseum certainly taken by this youngster.
There's the rhythm change in the music.
Her tumbling has been so good, I'm sure they're just waiting for this last line.
So if Emily can just put in a great tumbling pass here at the end, she's probably secured herself a medal. Here she's getting set, the music picking up. Good speed. There's that great height. Oh, beautiful job. What a routine. And also a nice comeback after a balance beam performance. Beautiful routine.
Hey, she's only 14, but she may have just won herself a medal in the national championship.
What was so impressive with Emily's routines were all her landings on all 3 of her tumbling passes. Just nailed them. Take a look again at one of her runs. Nice high double back salto. Just nails that landing. Knows exactly where she is in the air.
9.7.
9.70.
Well, we'll be back with one of the most exciting apparatus, the men's high bar, as the National Gymnastic Championship continues in a moment. Well, there you see the standings of the women's floor exercise. Carolee Kanuka 6th, Carolyn Olivier 5th, Christina McDonald 4th, and our medalists. And look at that, the 14-year-old Emily Major gets into the medals. They'll go down to Dan Matheson in the presentations floor side here at Copps Coliseum in Hamilton. And there's Marilyn Savage presenting the medals. And the gold medal performance, 9.80, Janine Rankin. The silver medal, 9.75, it's Larissa Lowing. And wait till you hear the cheer coming up next for the bronze medal. Only 14 years of age, Emily Major of Montreal. She makes it into the medals. Emily Major with the bronze, Larissa Lowing, the silver, and the gold to Janine Rankin. And those 3 will be hoping in the Olympic trials to prove that they belong, as I'm sure Janine will, and Larissa on our Olympic women's team. You still have to remember that Monica Gavacci will be included there, and as well maybe Lynette Whitmire if she recovers from her injury, at least in the Olympic trials. And we come to our last event, and probably, Dave Steeper, one of the best events, because this is the event where we now claim a world medal. And we'll see Curtis Hibbert coming up in a few moments performing the routine that won a silver at the World Championships in Rotterdam.
Now that's an error. This is not James Rosen. Of course, we recognize this as Philippe Chartrand. James must have pulled out at the last minute, and Philippe is the alternate. Now, being an alternate doesn't mean he's second rate. This is a very strong event for Philippe.
One arm.
Original one-arm combinations with a full turn. Going right into a release move, right out of that one arm. Very tight in the legs and toes. Beautiful form. Another one-arm combination right into another release. Very difficult to do those release moves at all, and yet he's doing them from the one-arm position. It's a beautiful routine for Philippe. Winding up, picking up some speed for a dismount. Double layout, nails the landing. Beautiful routine for Philippe. Coming as an alternate, and that's going to be tough to beat.
Boy, what a performance. Well, that's the difference. So there's a world-class gymnast. There's a guy that knows what it's all about.
He's got the experience. Here he is coming in, dislocating, providing the requirement of what's called an L grip on the bar, sort of a twisted grip, hopping out, changing direction. Here he's picking up the speed on his giant swings. Watch the height. First somersault above the bar, second somersault finishes at bar height, and those feet don't move on the landing. Beautiful routine.
9.825. So Philippe Chartrand sets the trend here. Here's a fellow that wasn't supposed to compete in this apparatus. Comes in as the alternate. And he sets the pace, 9.85, 8.25. That's going to be tough to beat. But as we said, Curtis Hibbert's still coming up. Claude Lattendresse from Montreal, 20 years of age.
Now this is a swing event. Claude has already won the pommel horse event, which is also a swinging event. He's got beautiful execution. Moving into a one-arm giant, half turn, another one-arm giant. Difficult to control the direction on those. Good release, a little bit of a form break upon regrasping, which is very difficult to maintain the form there. Another release from one arm. Lots of difficulty, lots of risk here. These guys going all out for the bonus points. On that dislocate maneuver, he's a little bit short of handstand, so he'll lose a bit for that. Good routine for Claude. He wasn't quite to the handstands like Philippe was, a little bit shaky on the form, so although the moves were similar, not quite as well done. So watch the technical execution here. Although the movements were the same, notice as he winds up for his double layout, he had a little bit of a bent body, so he loses some of the value for there. His toes aren't quite as together, a little bit bigger hop. So an excellent routine, but not quite as technically perfect as we saw from Philippe.
9.75 for Claude Lattendresse. 9.825 was Philippe Chartrand's. It holds up. Now from the Newmarket Gym Academy, 18-year-old George Zivic.
This is another one of our juniors. Now George did very well in the junior competition, placing third all around. This is a strong event for him. Now this is a dangerous event. They do call it high bar. It's over 8 feet above the ground, and when those guys release the bar, they're well over 12 feet over the ground, and if they miss, it's a long way down. George performing well in his opening moves. Good one-arm giant. Beautiful release. Good form. That's called a catch-of. It's a half turn after releasing the bar, catching the bar again. Moving into another one-arm, full twist around one arm. Picking up speed on his giants. For a double layout, little bit of a bend of the knees. Good routine for George.
One of our juniors, George Zivic.
George being congratulated. His dad is actually one of the national team coaches and is now coaching him. We're watching his giant swings. Here's where they're trying to accelerate, pick up as much speed as possible to get that height above the bar in order to get those 2 full rotations, and just tuck the knees down a little bit too much, which did cause an over rotation. So a double deduction as a result of bending the knees.
9.65 for the junior George Zivic. Philippe Chartrand still the leader, 9.825. And yet another junior who worked his way into the senior competition today, David Bardana from Calgary. We'd just like to remind the stations along the CTV network that because we still have 3 more competitors to go, we will be running just past the top of the clock.
Good mount seen from David. He's got excellent execution. Nicely performed one-arm giant. Good release, perfect form on that release move. David working very well. He's a strong competitor on this event. Pirouetting, change of direction. Difficult one-arm combination. A little bit of a leg split there, so that will be a slight deduction. Movement called an endo shoot. Now picking up his speed. Let's see how the dismount comes. Double back with a full twist. Very difficult dismount. A little bit of a step on the landing. Very clean routine, though, for David.
Well, he's got to be happy with that.
Well, you can see from the look on his face.
John Kolb is his coach. And they're already starting to clap for the next man.
We're picking it up with his full twisting double somersault. These gymnasts are putting more and more difficulty in their routines all the time. Slightly different angle. You can get the height from this angle that they are above the ground. That was a full twisting one-arm giant. It really is way up there. And on an unfortunate note from this routine, on this type of dismount, which was a double layout, David did it with a full twist. Yesterday, one of our very promising senior gymnasts, Mike Inglis, in fact, dislocated a knee. Very unfortunate.
Well, 9.625 for David Bardana. And that leaves him in 4th place. The score to beat is 9.825, and if there's anyone who can do it, it is this man, Curtis Hibbert. He won the silver medal at the World Championships with a score of 9.9 in Rotterdam. And he is a definite medal contender for the Seoul Games. And this is also his best event.
That's right. He's a very dynamic performer. It's just a super routine to watch. Starting off right off the bat. Oh, very unfortunate.
Well, there you have it. And he will have the option, of course, of chalking up, which he will do. That's probably a maneuver he could do 20 more times successfully in a row.
That's right. We'll just take a look. If he releases just a little bit too late, it takes him farther over the bar than he wants to go. And he gets his one finger on, but he's just...
It wasn't even close yet. One finger is all he got on the bar.
That's right, and there's an enormous amount of force on those hands when they're regrasping after those flight